Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about unlocking a secret code for successful project delivery. It's something that came about actually from a chance encounter. We had a bit of a serendipitous meeting at the BIM Coordinators Summit in beautiful Ireland, and the two teams from Procync and Plannerly came together, and it's been an incredible journey so far, and I'm sure that there'll be way more to come. We realized that we had a shared passion for really detailed planning and enhancing and aligning a seamless delivery of a project. And we had this really big commitment to both process and tools to help teams deliver in a more efficient way. So this is what formed as a partnership between Plannerly and Procync. Plannerly being the tool that helps to deliver in a seamless way. Procync was always doing this in their delivery for project management. Today, we're going to talk about how that was born, what the challenges are that we're helping to solve in our industry, and what the system is that we are creating. So today, let me introduce you first of all to Chris, who is going to start and kick us off and tell us more about what we have as a system, and then I'll jump in again and talk a bit more about the tools, but it's mostly about an introduction to the overall system and why it's important for our industry. Chris, do you want to take it away?
Thank you for the introduction. Okay, so in this webinar, we're going to cover who we are at Procync, the challenges we all face in our industry, the secret code, and then how that secret code will help us all to deliver better, faster, and for less. We have a Q&A session at the end, but please use the chat function if you want to post any questions as we go, and we'll address them at the end. Procync has been set up by Ian, me, and Andy to radically change the way we deliver and manage our built assets. Clive and Plannerly are key digital partners, as Clive just said, in Procync. Ian and I have 45 years experience, each that is, in the capital and FM space in complex and high value projects and buildings. Andy has over 40 years experience and expertise in the business to business tech space. And Clive has over 30 years in the industry itself and co-founded Plannerly, his second startup focused on BIM and AEC. Collectively, we have the skills, expertise, experience, and sector battle scars to know what is needed and how to deliver it. We're all passionate about improving our industry and have a simple vision for what we want our business to be, which is to fundamentally change how we build and maintain for the benefit of all. When I say change, I mean better, faster, and for less. Our challenges in delivering projects are all too common. Delays, cost overruns, quality, and poor user experiences are unfortunately widespread, despite industry reports and various initiatives, often driven by governments, that we're stagnant in our drive to improve and have been for decades. Expectations are now that we will underperform. The only question now seems to be by how much. There are a myriad of reasons and excuses as to why, but we'll not go through those today. The overriding need is to improve our productivity and quality and start bringing confidence into our ability to deliver across the whole life cycle. The stats say it all, of projects fail, but when I say that, it's for time, budget, and benefits. Only 1 in 200 projects actually achieves its business objectives. 80% of a project's costs are time related. So how we use our time is where we need to focus. And from a product perspective, where product is the productive labor, and I'm careful about using the productive labor and materials, we spend only circa 30% of the total project budget on the product itself, i.e. what the end user gets. Let me unveil the magic numbers. 5, 4, 1, 3. Remember that, please. And we'll just go on to talk about what that is. The secret code unlocked. 5 principles that underpin how we deliver what we do. 4 pillars that encompass our delivery processes, tools, and methods. And 1 system that integrates the 4 pillars and our principles and provides a seamless delivery solution. Then there's 3 outcomes that positively enhance and improve your results by using our system. So let me talk about the 5 principles. Transparency. It means real open book on costs throughout the supply chain. It's also about open and visible information and communications from everyone without fear or favor. Combining transparency with collaboration is where the data meets the people. People need to collaborate across every stage of the project, sharing ideas, information, and problem solving together. This is particularly important where one person's work has to integrate with another. This interface is often where things go wrong. Most people will know that. Collaboration requires a shared vision for the project, its goals, and our part in achieving the results. When we collaborate and are transparent and are invested in the goals for the project, it is far easier to then drive and embed the continuous improvement that not only helps this project, but will help projects beyond. A continuous improvement mindset by everyone, is what will set us apart from others, but only if we analyze, collect, and curate the knowledge we gain to others. That is knowledge sharing. Not being protective or selfish, but being open to share what we know to help others get better. Of course, our ability to improve and share must be underpinned by how we collect, curate, and use the data we have. This is again where data meets people. The tech will get us the right data, will help us to use it wisely, but ultimately it is people who will decide how successful that use is. We'll now move on to the 4 pillars. We have our lifecycle delivery process, which is the recipient of the other pillars, which are an integrated digital platform, people with purpose, and finally, our dedicated knowledge and improvement hub. I'm going to explain in a little bit more detail each of those pillars as we go through now. So let's start with our lifecycle delivery model. This is where we spend time and money in developing the client solutions and bringing them to fruition. Begin with the end in mind. Spend time discovering what the brief is. Interrogate on the basis of end use. Involve those who will be operators or end users to get it right. Plan long, execute quick. Think deeply about the building phase. Digital twins, for example, to emulate the end product. Plan the logistics of the build. Engage with those who will be doing the build so that when you execute efficiently. As a detailed collaborative plan, we call it a one-plan approach, is essential to move through the phases with clear logic, but to also capture the why. When things don't go to plan and to address them in flight, we use things like critical chain techniques to protect end dates and improve time delivery. Thank you. So our integrated delivery platform focuses on using industry tried and tested products. The integrated hub is used by all on the project. All the information is common. It serves as the one version of the truth. I'm going to bring in Clive now to talk through the next few slides. So Clive, can I drag you back in if that's okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. The power of collaboration for delivery only happens with the right process and the right people in place. And we can talk about technology all day, but if you don't have that those fundamentals and understanding that a lean workflow and being able to, as you said, plan long, execute quick, and having that mindset and the ideas around lean in place, then it's going to be difficult anyway. So what we do from Plannerly's perspective is just support that workflow, make it easier to collaborate, make it easier to have clear information requirements. And 3 things that I'm just going to key in on today are, first of all, the proactive agreements. And if you, Chris, move 1 slide along. Yeah. The key part of communication is, in our industry, if it's not in the contract, if it's not written down clearly, then it's not going to get done. And so we really focus on removing the confusion when you're creating these agreements, making it easier and making it more smart from a templatizing and from a sequencing and workflow, making it easier to actually get feedback through the process rather than wait until a whole document is created. And this process is key as we deliver through this Procync solution so that teams can get to an agreement rather than just a contract. And so proactive agreements is number 1 that I really wanted to key in on. And number 2, do you want to advance, Chris? Number 2 is the clearer set of information requirements. So if we talk about things and have long paragraphs of detailed requirements, it's sometimes difficult for 1, people to read them, 2, to start following them, and then 3, to actually check them later. So when we talk about clear information requirements, we're really trying to remove that ambiguity of how somebody is going to do something at certain time to a certain level of granularity. And we're really defining these requirements in a way that can be structured, that can be ending up as a simple, did you do it or did you not do it? That leads to less errors and less ambiguity, which in turn, if we move to the 3rd one, we really are focused on having a more efficient system to automatically check the output. In our workflow, 1 example is a 3D model deliverable. So you have a BIM deliverable, and instead of waiting for that to be delivered, and instead of creating a report with thousands of problems in it, we automate the connection between that setup of all of those clearer information requirements with the deliverable so that the person submitting the work can check their own work before they submit the work and cause you to then end up in a project management nightmare of reporting problems that then need to be fixed. So we're really trying to eliminate the back and forth by using technology, using more structured workflows, and using this ability to connect the delivery to the original set of requirements. Coupled with all of these, and it's almost like a bonus one, I talked there about those three things: having the ability to understand what the agreement is and have it make it more proactive, being able to define really clear and machine readable information requirements, and then check the quality. But the bonus one there, if you couple that with the motivation, which is really the payment, that's where we have this system for micro payments that initiates as soon as each task is done, rather than waiting 75 days for payment, which is our industry standard. So there were three things that I just wanted to introduce from a technology supporting perspective, but it really is combining all of that with the people side of things. And Chris will then please share more about how that ties into the people.
Thank you, Clive. That's a very good segue from the tech into the people. So without people, there is nothing. So we want to work collaboratively and equally with everyone to deliver the project. In our system, the ringmaster is a project integration leader who is responsible for pulling the pieces together to deliver the project. We will be looking to partner with suitable companies, construction managers, design, supply chain, and others to work with us to deliver, obviously, the total solution. The project integration leader ensures that all those four pillars I talked about earlier on are engaged to deliver the project. We will be looking to engage with supply partners through simple contracts. One of the things, we've got a very complicated contractual arrangements at the moment. What we're trying to do is simplify that. And on a unique risk reward model, and actually what Clyde talked about earlier around the micropayments, that suits our risk reward model extremely well, that we've developed that, and it works to incentivize everyone, including the operatives, to deliver effectively and efficiently. Just move on to the knowledge hub. So we're all told every day that data is going to be the key to how we improve. That is actually correct, but it must be the right data. And for that, we need to know the insights we need to leverage the improvement we want to achieve. At every level, we will collect the data we need to deliver better, faster, and for less. Having feedback loops, training people to constantly look for better ways to do things, providing a clear process for capturing that learning, and curating it for the priorities to deliver better, faster, and for less. Imagine the power of learning from day one of a project, fixing issues in flight, taking that learning and applying it immediately to other projects. This leads to what we term accelerated continuous improvement. Our knowledge hub is a central focal point to taking delivery information and feeding it to our people and processes, and vice versa. When we talk about one system, the four pillars combine to form our one system approach that we will use to deliver projects from start to completion and beyond. We're going to combine rigidity with agility to ensure we balance risk, good practice, and continuous improvement. So delivered through systems powered by people. We talk about outcomes. So what do I get? We've already mentioned our outcomes throughout the earlier slides. Better across all areas, quality for people, for suppliers, for clients and end users, and for our planet. Today's world, we've got to be more encompassing on how we see our projects interacting with not just their immediate need, but across society over time. Faster. Being faster does not mean compromising on quality. It means being better prepared, using information, being collaborative, and planning well. It means achieving better returns on investments, maximizing building use, and moving on to the next opportunity quicker. For less. So our focus is on improving the productivity of people, materials, and components. If we can improve productivity by 10%, it results in an 8% saving on our capital costs, for example. If we build in better quality products with diagnostic capability, we can reduce costs to use over the lifetime of the building. This, of course, excludes our focus on getting the right products for the users, a far greater benefit in terms of ease and comfort of use. These are the outcomes we know are possible. Our ambitions are greater. Let's talk about these. So what should our ambitions be for you, not for us? Firstly, they should start in flight from day one of project one and be incremental as we deliver more projects. The learning and continuous improvement ethos I talked about earlier. We believe we can build 30% faster, a key aspect to that return on investment, and lowering the cost to build. We think that can lead to a 20% less cost to build. We mentioned earlier that whole life cost is a key focus. Our ambition is that we can achieve something like 20% less in running costs. The focus on quality by everyone will lead to no defects being carried forward. And those of you who have been at the end of a project will know how defects are frustrating and time consuming. Certainly experienced that myself numerous times. We need to have sustainable supply chains that we value, nurture, and reward, because without them, we've got nothing. So this is your secret code, 5413. Unlock Procync to deliver better, faster, and for less. We're actually offering a free assessment and discovery call for those people who are interested. The link is there on the slide, but I think it's also in the chat. I'm going to hand over to Ian now, if I can, to run the Q&A session. Ian,